Hello and welcome to Writer Rant, author advice in 5 minutes or less because I've got to get back to writing and so do you. So this week I want to talk a little bit about beating the odds. So last week I had a little bit of a conversation with you about kind of writer karma and how writers should help each other out. But when it comes down to it, if you want to make a living as a writer, there are odds that are pretty well stacked against you. And I don't mean to be cynical, but I'm going to be a realist here. I had somebody contact me a couple months ago, and I'm like, hey, I'm not really doing reviews for that email address right now. So they kind of contacted me some other way, and they're like, hey, I'm homeless, I can't do this. I've essentially spent my entire life savings on this book that I'm going to try and make a living off of, and I'm like, okay. So, considering that I ran into this person online, I figured I might let all of you guys know out there in the world that it's really tough. Making a living as a writer is, I'm not going to say it's an impossibility, it's very challenging. So let's break it down to the numbers, right? So in the United States here, living poverty rate wage is about $15,000 a year. Now, most authors are going to be paid on what's considered royalties, right? And so you can also do other things. You could ghostwrite. You can do other things. There are other opportunities out there, but I'm talking about if you're essentially going to make a living off of a single book or a series of books. This is what it looks like. So $15,000 a year. Well, what does that look like in royalties? Well, most royalties aren't the greatest. Usually, if you're selling your book around a couple dollars as an ebook on Amazon, then you might get $1 worth of royalties every time that it sells. So that's pretty good. So you calculate that in, and again, you have to pay taxes on those royalties, amongst a whole plethora of other things. So even without taxes taken out, you have to sell 15,000 books a year at $1 royalty in order to even be at the poverty level. Like, if it's below that, you're going to have a tough time. And so what it comes down to is we can't all be the J.K. Rowlings, right? It's like, yeah, she's a writer that was essentially on the brink of, homelessness, all that kind of stuff, or so I recall. I might be wrong there. And then she broke through with the Harry Potter, and she got a deal, and it's a bajillion bestseller kind of thing. And honestly, she won the lottery, right? So it's kind of survivorship bias, because there's a ton of authors out there that either, writing can't be their main income stream because it just doesn't pay enough. Or two, they luck out and they get this huge series that's wildly popular, and it's movies and theme parks and all that kind of stuff. But again, it's like those people are very rare. And honestly, if you want to make a living, your best bet is to actually write as much as possible, to have a very prolific writing career. Now granted, you might have to do this when you have a side job to actually support yourself, so that you're not entirely going off of the royalties of your writing. And like I said, there's ghostwriting, there's other paid gigs you can do for writing, but those also don't pay very well. So again, the odds are you're probably not going to be super successful if you're a writer and if that's what you want to do full time. I mean, you can still keep at it, but just understand the realities of it. Anyways, what about you? Are you actually one of the few who's succeeded and has made a living on writing? By all means, tell us your secrets down below. That would be interesting to see. And if any of you readers or writers out there have any gripes about any books you've read or anything that you've noticed recently in people's writing, by all means drop a comment below and maybe I'll get to it in a future episode. So thanks for watching this episode of Writer Rant. I'm Benjamin M. Weilert.